Well, good morning. Today we are going to just be looking at getting started with SketchUp. And there's a lot of things to worry about when we're getting ready with SketchUp because we want to save things in a way that we can easily retrieve them and we understand where it's saved at. And so to start there, we got to talk about there being two different versions of SketchUp that we can use. One is a desktop version, and one is the app or cloud version. In class, we're most of the time going to be using the web or app version, and I really like this version because it's something that you can get at home. When you save it here, you can get it to anywhere you have computer access. Even on your iPad, it's starting to work better on mobile devices. The downloaded version is a more powerful version. And if you were doing it for a living or in our advanced wood manufacturing classes, when we start designing our capstone project, you'll probably want to gravitate more towards the desktop version of SketchUp. That is on the desktop of all of the computers. And if you're more comfortable there, you can use that program, no problem at all. Know that the tutorial videos that I make are going to revolve around the app version, the cloud version, but the buttons are the same. They're just in different locations. So use whichever you're more comfortable with. But if you're new to SketchUp, I would highly recommend the app or cloud version because that's what I'm going to be using in class. To open up that, we're going to go to our Canvas page, and we're going to look for a link in our quick links, whether you're in Advanced Woods or Intro to Wood Manufacturing. There's going to be something that says SketchUp Nightstand. We're doing the bookshelf right now in Wood Manufacturing 1, so this should say SketchUp Bookshelf. But when I click on it, the very top link is going to be a link to getting into SketchUp. So follow this link. Don't just type login SketchUp. Who knows where you're going to get. So I'm going to click on this link here, and I am going to say start modeling. Now, I am probably logged in because I use this program quite often, but I'm going to log out here quickly so you can see the login process. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to sign out. And I'm going to click on Start Modeling. This is that's where the link gets you. And instead of doing any of this, we're going to say sign in with Google. You get to pick the Google account that you're using. So I'm using my Wyzetta Schools Google account. I have Google accounts for other things that I use SketchUp for. In here, you're going to come up to a screen that has all of the projects that you've worked on recently. So I think it's the last 8 or 9 projects, or maybe it's the last few months, but some of these are kind of old. Like that goes back to 11/23. So there might be quite a few things on here. If you want to pick up where you left off on one of those, this is an easy spot to be able to click that. We're going to say create new and grab that drop-down menu, and we're going to say fractional inches. Lots of reasons to use other ones like the architectural feet and inches. The biggest difference there is it's going to give you your dimensions in feet and inches. So if it was a 40-inch measurement, the dimension is going to read 3 feet 4 inches, and that's not how we typically talk in the wood manufacturing world. If you're drawing a home, absolutely, we're not going to have a 600-foot or 600-inch side of a house that we're dealing with. We're going to put that in feet and inches. So go to fractional inches, and that's going to be a really easy template for us to start in. Don't delete the person who is sitting here. The person is nice and gives you a little bit of size and scale, so you're not drawing things that are getting huge or super small. They give you a good idea of the scope of what you're drawing. Excuse me. First thing I like to do when I get to a document is I'm going to come up here and I want to hit the Untitled button, and I want to save this as something. So I'm going to go to my SketchUp folder, and I've got lots of different folders in here. You can make a new folder. If I do examples, you might want to do one called Woods 1. You'll create that, and I'll go into this folder, and I'm going to call this file. If I am you, you're probably working on your bookshelf or nightstand, and call this bookshelf. Then I'm going to hit save here. And if I do that, I might have to move my picture. And if I do that, now we see in the top left corner, you'll see the title of the document that you're working on here in the upper left-hand corner. And then after I do some drawing, you can say, oh, I want to save it now. And I would do that periodically. And it will ask you if you want to save it before you close it. But this way you know where the document that you're working on is saved. Lastly, if you are using the desktop version or you want to back it up as the desktop version, if you click these three bars and say download SKP, I would tend to gravitate towards an older version, like a 2018 or 2019. That way, if you have an older version at home, you're able to open that up. And I know that when we take things to our CNC router, VCarve Pro likes a version older than the current version. So right now, I think the 21 version is on the computers. It likes the 20 version. I usually even go to 18 for it to be able to read it. So I'll usually save it as a little bit older version. It's more compatible with more devices. Yeah, and then here is that file right here. So if I'd click on that file, it would open up in the desktop version. So it's really simple to move things from the desktop to the cloud and the cloud to the desktop. If you wanted to go the other way, you just have to say import and then find that file, and it will bring it right in here, and you'll be able to continue working on it. This thing also has an Add Collaborators button, so I could share this. Whoops. That's undo and redo. I could share this with somebody. And that's kind of nice. If you're stuck and you want to send it to me, I can get into your drawing and we can look at it together. That is getting started with SketchUp. Hopefully that helps. And if you've got any more questions, please let me know.